Welcome to Parentless Podcast. Please note that in this show you may hear graphic descriptions or language that may not be appropriate for everyone. Listener discretion advised. Hey friends, it's Stephanie. In September of this year, I had the opportunity to interview Courtney Wallstrom. Courtney's episode is episode 14, called She Would Be Stoked on It. Courtney speaks about her own life, her mother's life, and her mother's death, and how that had an impact on her. Unfortunately, last week, Courtney did fall victim to her battles with depression and mental illness. In Courtney's episode, we do talk about if she feels like her mother is looking down on her. And she said, well, I wonder if they schedule their time so they don't see anything weird. So Courtney, I hope you schedule your time so you don't see anything weird.
This is a fact production, you city.
That makes me sad, comes and goes by. Could wrote the book of Joe instead. Oh, to go now. Have you so help me make this bed? Oh, to know. Tell me what it takes to make you stay.
Hello. Welcome to Parentless Podcast. This is a live show for us tonight, something that's a little different than we're used to doing. And so we are here with Andrew. I met Andrew in, actually, I'm just going to tell this story real quick because I think it's very ironic, and just with the people that I meet in doing this show, it's just the little tiny things with the connections that really stick out to me. So we're both in a parentless loss support group, and Andrew made a post and he shared, it was a beautiful post about his mom and the influence that she had on his life. And so I said, you know what, he looks like a guy that, really would like to tell his story and to help others. And I reached out to him, and I really have not reached out to anyone in the support group because I'm just not sure. We all have our different levels of what we're okay with, and I don't ever want to cross any type of lines, but I just felt like that would be okay. So anyway, I did, and he said, yes, I'd love to talk. And so now we're here. The other thing is, when I clicked on his profile, you were from Phoenix, and I happen to live in Phoenix too. So I was like, hey, not like we're going to meet up anyway, but we live in the same neighborhood, so we definitely should meet up. So hello and welcome.
That's awesome. Nice to be on here, Stephanie. I'm super amped to be on here with you. This is actually my first podcast. I just wanted to quickly introduce myself to everyone. So my name is Andrew Von Ryan. I am originally from Lander, Wyoming, which is a small little town. It's right in the center of Wyoming. And I just recently moved out to Phoenix, Arizona. I graduated college, and I just decided that, hey, there's no better opportunity to move somewhere where I personally enjoy, and that was Phoenix, Arizona. And I recently just started up my own online fitness training business about 6-7 months ago. So I'm super stoked about that, and everything's really coming together. And like I said, I'm amped to be on here with you. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and asking to be on this podcast. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, and thank you so much. And I kind of, it's a bit of a running joke in my head anyway, that I don't personally feel comfortable yet, being a guest on someone's podcast about this. So I really especially enjoy the people who are willing to come and talk to me. So again, thank you so much. I do have one question. You said you just decided to come to Phoenix, Arizona. Was there anything else besides that? You just liked it here?
I just thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to really just, open up my options. I always, have loved Wyoming growing up there as a kid. And I'm just honestly not a big cold weather guy. I was just ready to get out of the cold and head to the heat. And honestly, I've always just loved it down here in Arizona. My uncle used to live down here. My dad has a couple friends down here, so we would make our way down here to Phoenix every time, especially during the winter. We're kind of little snowbirds back in the day, so I always just enjoyed coming down here, and it was just something that I always knew I wanted to do. I always knew I was just going to end up here for whatever reason because I just absolutely loved it here, love the weather, and yeah, it's awesome. I love it here.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm from Kansas and I've been here for just a couple years, and I am so stoked that I don't have to worry about seeing snow again unless I want to.
Great.
All right. Well, so let's kind of just dive in here, and like I said before, we'll just have a conversation, and we we love to hear the good and anything else that comes too. So who died for you? Who was your person?
Yeah, so it was actually my mom. Her name was Angela, and it actually happened about a year and a half ago. I was 22 at the time, and, she was 55, and basically she died from liver cancer.
So I want to hear about just your experience. My mom also did pass away of cancer, and I know that, there's just different, either it's a long-term or a short-term, and there's so many different things with that. One thing I will say that your post jumped out for me also is because you are so young, and it's been, just a year and a half, and just the growth that I thought I saw and the knowledge, I really appreciated that. So do you remember, I remember the day, when my mom was diagnosed. Do you remember the day when she was diagnosed?
Yeah, I can definitely touch up on that a little bit for you. So I was in college, finishing up my last week of my senior year of college, right? You're super amped to be done with college. You're getting a degree and you're just excited, right? And I'm finishing up some finals that I was taking. I think what I had to do was I had one final online left, and then I had to finish up typing a paper, which I procrastinated all semester long. And so I really needed to focus on that for the week, right? And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get a call from my dad and got the bad news that my mom was sick. She was in the hospital and things weren't looking good whatsoever, right? And so many emotions just came upon me and so many thoughts. You just think about regret, right? Some of those things that you wish you could have done, maybe could have said, spent more time with her. Just so many things pop across your head. So anyways, once I got the news, I think that was on a Monday is when it was.
And before this, you said that she was in, just very suddenly in the hospital with being sick. So just a few days before she went into the hospital, or?
Yeah. So essentially, I think it happened when my dad called me. I think she was in the hospital for a couple days. I think he knew that he really wanted me to, focus on school, because he knew I had finals and everything to do. So he didn't want to spill the bad news on me. That way, it really ruined my week. So I think she was in the hospital for a couple days. On Friday, she was in the hospital. And then, as days went on, things were just getting worse. And, he decided to call me on a Monday to tell me all the news because, like I said, things were getting worse. So.
Okay. And then when you hear the news, do you come home as soon as you can, or do you stay there?
Absolutely. I rushed through everything, and I mean, turning in my paper that day, it probably was a decent paper, but, like I said, I just rushed through everything, rushed through my last online final, and just typed out my paper as fast as I could, and then loaded up all my stuff and hit the road for Casper, which was about 2.5 hours from Laramie. And I was literally pedal to the metal. And, like I said, so many emotions were just running through me, and I just couldn't believe it. Like I said, finishing up with school and getting ready to go back home for an amazing summer, and then all of a sudden I get the bad news, and it's crazy. Like, it just happens, so quick.
Mm-hmm. And did she have like a time frame, an expected number of days or anything?
Yeah. So, I mean, they basically, try all of the medication that they could.
Mm-hmm.
They would start with one day where they would try a specific medication, see if that worked. And if that didn't work, they'd move on to, a more advanced medication, and it just wasn't working. And, her symptoms just became worse, and it was just tough. I mean, I specifically remember walking into a room where she was placed at and seeing her, and literally, like, I just broke down. Like, it was just tough for me to see her in that position.
Exactly. And then you being away at school, she looked completely different the last time you saw her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe I went home and saw her probably 2 or 3 weeks before all of this happened. And I mean, yeah, it's just crazy how fast it happened.
Wow. So how long after, she was in the hospital, you came home, how long from then until when she did pass away? How much time did you guys have together?
Yeah, so it was a short amount of time. I showed up to Casper, and we stayed there for a couple of days, and then we got the news that she wasn't going to make it. So the doctor told us it would be best to take her home and put her on hospice. And literally, I think it was like 3 or 4 days later is when she passed away.
So do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do, yeah. I have one brother and one sister.
Okay. And were they all there with you?
Yeah.
During that time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that we ever want to, say that anybody has any favorites, but were you quite a mama's boy? Did you guys have a special connection? What were you the oldest, middle, youngest? When were you born?
I was the youngest. Yeah.
Okay.
I was the youngest. Yep. Definitely a mama's boy. I was a big fan. I mean, she's a great person. There's a lot of people out there that can back me up on that. She worked as a lunch lady at high school, and she had such a huge impact on all those kids, and she really impacted and really just changed a lot of people's lives. I mean, there were some times where, there were some stories she would tell me. She's like, yeah, these kids, they come up to the register and, they'd have a full plate of food, and and they would say, yep, you just put it on my account. She's like, absolutely. And she looked at their account, and they were like $40 or $50 in the hole. And she was like, gosh, I mean, you're $40 in the hole. Do you know that? She's like, yeah, I do. And but she would just plug it in anyways, and on they would go with their lunch, and with a smile on their face, and continue their day. And yeah, she had a big impact on the whole entire school, and as well as those kids, and basically the teachers really looked up to her and respected her for who she was.
Excellent. Did she work in the school for a long time?
Yeah, she was there for, man, she was a legend.
Did you go to that school, or did you go to a different school?
Yeah, so I was pretty fortunate enough to have her as my lunch lady.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was great.
So this is a really, I have to ask it, but it's like a cheap shot question because it just is. So how do you feel your life has been changed by the death of your mother?
Yeah, I mean, so many ways, I definitely feel that there's a part of me missing. She always just spoke from her heart and was just a kind person all around. And she always told me to do something that I truly wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Right? Like whatever made me happy, that's what it was all about. Like I specifically remember her giving me so many talks about her having, multiple jobs until she landed, her dream job, something that she truly enjoyed, which was being a lunch lady, and just inspiring those kids each and every single day. And, the slightest kind words from someone to another human being could be the difference making their day, right? Mm-hmm. I can guarantee you that there were kids that would be having a rough day, and every time they went through that lunch line, they knew that Angela Von Ryan would be there to make them laugh, or whatever the case may be, to make their day. And I know for a fact she always had an impact on all of those kids.
Yeah, and the minute that you first said that she had an impact on the kids, I immediately thought too, because now, with COVID, schools are impacted, and that was one of the questions they first went to. Well, what are these kids going to do about lunch that count on these school lunches to get by? And so when you said that she made that impact, I did immediately go to that, those kids who don't have, they're counting on that school lunch to get them by. And I just think now more than ever, especially, who knows, there's tons of kids missing that lunch lady that, is there as a part of their life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was cool. The principal came up with an idea of having a plaque dedicated towards her. So they put up a plaque of her, and every time you go in the kitchen, there's just a big old plaque of her sitting up there, and it's really great.
Did she, with her kindness and everything, did she have any certain phrases or anything specific that she would say all the time that you remember?
Not that I can think of as of right now, but there are always some stuff or some things that she would say that would make us all laugh. Mm-hmm. And she really loved movies. I think she always enjoyed, because I think most of us, including, my brother, my sister, and me, we're big movie quoters. So we always quote a lot of movies. And, I think that's kind of where we got it from. But in the same sense, we would say those movie quotes over and over and over, to the point where it just drive her nuts. But I know deep down she really enjoyed, us saying those movie quotes, or, just making her laugh, because, she would always laugh So there's definitely, some movie quotes that I can't really think of as of right now. But
Yeah, that was not a fair question. I did not give you a heads up on that one.
good. It's a great question.
So out of those ways that her death has impacted your life, which one is there one that you feel just has impacted you the most?
Yeah, so I haven't talked a whole lot about my business, but like as I mentioned at the start, I just started my own online fitness business, and it's called 920 Fitness. And the reason that I call it 920 Fitness is because Lander, Wyoming, which is where I grew up, to where I am now in Phoenix, Arizona, is 920 miles apart. And I just thought it'd be cool to call it 920 Fitness. And so I definitely say my business. I definitely dedicate this business to my mom because it's something that makes me happy. And I know that she's looking down on me and thinking of what a great job I am doing, impacting and inspiring other individuals and changing their lives for the better. And I always wanted to impact and inspire people just like she did. And growing up, I was always around fitness, whether it be, sports to the gym. I was just, my whole life revolved around fitness. And I just thought, what better way would there be to spend life than to help and inspire and even transform people's lives for the better? So I definitely say my business.
And she kind of gave you that will to and that drive to run a business, because you just told me that you have recently started going live multiple times a week, like five times a week, right? And just everything that goes into owning your own business. Like, you definitely have to be a hard worker and dedicated to what you're doing. And you said your mom was at her job for 20 years, so I'm sure just her work ethic probably even played into that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the lives, it's definitely something that I am getting better at, but I feel probably one of my biggest struggles or even fears was just getting on live and just talking to people. Like, I always just seem to struggle with that, just being a genuine person and, just telling my story and just opening up as a person. So I definitely say that was definitely a big struggle for me, but, what better way to overcome the struggles or fears that you have than to just attack them?
Exactly. And I got to ask you, so I've never hiked, and I might be able to do like a nature stroll, but so I see some of your pictures and you look like you might do some hiking to get up there and get some views. So in our area, do you have like a destination that like somebody should go to just start out?
I would say Camelback, but that is an extremely difficult trail. So
okay, not that one.
I definitely wouldn't recommend starting off at that. Maybe down the road, if you want to challenge yourself. But there are some just little, Phoenix preserves over, by my house. It's off the 101, 7th Street and 101. That I definitely would recommend. That's more of an easier trail to, go on with your family or your friends, or even just starting off at. But, I'm still pretty new to the area. So, that's all.
How long have you been here?
So I've been here for a year and a half is all. Okay.
So you took out soon after. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So, So I actually spent the summer back in Wyoming, And then after that, I came down here.
Good deal. Sometimes a nice fresh start is very helpful as well.
Absolutely. And there's just so much more that you can explore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much that you can explore. And I was just ready for a change. And like I said, I always knew I just wanted to come down here, and I just love the weather. Even though the summers can be grueling, but they really don't bother me all so much. So I love it.
I feel like it's not as hot here as you might be in the Midwest and see 100 degrees, and then here and you see 100 degrees. It's completely different.
Right.
So,
with that humidity as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll be right back.
If you'd like to support the show and have access to exclusive content, please visit www.patreon.com/parentlesspodcast. Thank you for taking the time to be with me here today. Your support and dedication of the Parentless Podcast community is amazing and much appreciated. If you like what you've heard, been helped by what you've heard, or would like to share your story, please contact me at parentlesspodcast@gmail.com or Parentless Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Is there anything that reminds you of your mom? Any smell, sight, taste, sound, song, anything like that? When you know it, you know it, and that's mom.
Yeah. So like after she passed away, I created a little playlist in my iTunes, and I just had it labeled as Mama. The song that I have in there specifically for her is Most People Are Good by Lou Bryan. I literally had that on repeat like every single day, for the past month after she passed away. And it was just something that, we'd be sitting out on the deck in the evenings and just enjoying, the beautiful summer weather. And, that was just a song that she truly enjoyed. And, now that I think about it, when I am just driving down, the road or interstate going somewhere, and I have the radio going, like that song always seems to pop on, and it's weird how it happens.
Interesting. Yes, I always like to ask people, if and that seems to be a big moment, is listening to the radio or something like that and the song popping on, and that's just so crazy. Do you feel like, have you had any other experiences like that? Have you, I don't want to say ghosts per se, but any other thing like that happened to you?
No other experiences.
Yeah, me either. And so I just like to hear about it because I'm not sure what all I believe and all that. But anyway, so I just like to hear different stories. But those songs popping up is definitely one thing. So absolutely. I need to ask you now, when you hear that song, does it make you happy or does it make you sad?
Oh yeah. I mean, kind of a little bit both, definitely brings up a lot of emotion, just reminiscing the good times that I had with her, and just knowing that I was lucky and fortunate enough to, have known her for, 22 years, because there's just a lot of other people that really haven't even met their mom. And just putting that into perspective and just realizing, hey, I had 22 good years with her. And so every time that song pops on, I just reminisce of the good time that we had together.
I haven't. I might have heard the song and I may not know, but after we finish, I'm definitely going to go listen to it for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
And tell me again, what was the playlist called? What did you call it?
So I just have it as labeled as Mama, but the song is just Most People Are Good by Luke Bryan. It's a great song. I definitely recommend it.
Have you ever been to counseling or therapy?
No, never been to counseling or therapy, but I definitely want to plan on it in the future. Like, I just believe that, there's some things that you don't want to tell your friends, your family, or even your significant other. And I think that, having a therapist is great in the sense to really just open up about all those things that you really can't or don't want to tell somebody else. So I definitely am going to look into it in the future. So, like I said, I believe that it's definitely going to help me as a person grow. So I'm definitely going to look into it into the future.
I haven't been either, but I do really appreciate finding sometimes I get to talk to people who have been to therapy. And so, they give me their insight. And that's throughout the different episodes that they tell me, or, we talk about coping mechanisms and they tell me, oh, well, I do meditation, or just all of the different things that are out there. If you're not familiar with the different options that there are for therapy or coping mechanisms, definitely check out some other episodes. You wouldn't tell it right now, but I really don't like to talk to people in general. And I definitely don't talk about myself very much. But someone I recently talked to said there's a type of therapy that you really don't even have to talk if you don't want to. And they touch your kidneys and do something else. I don't know. But so there's just all different types. Yeah. But definitely, if once you look into it and, if you find things that work for you, totally share them. Do you want to talk a little bit about, like, we're in that parent loss support group, and you seem to have a very good reception there, and you seem to be very supportive, and, when other people post things as well. Do you find it helpful to be around other people that have this in common with you, and just to share that, the fellowship of the commenting on things and the sharing experiences? What do you get out of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely great to be in a group with other individuals that have had, the same experience that, you have gone through. So just being able to, express your feelings into the group and really just being in a supportive community.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And especially now, since we're not getting out and meeting and things, I think just all the loss that has happened now so far, I think so many people are leaning into, this type of support. I did want to ask you, you said that you started your business about 6 or 7 months ago. And if we do some math, that's right in the middle of this pandemic or situation that we are in. What did you do before you started your business? And was there anything, did you have to realize that people are going to need this online option now? Did that have anything to do with your decision? How did you get into your business?
Yeah. So, when I first came down here, I was working for my dad's friend it was just a landscaping business where we did do some spraying, and, I was just working there. And I always just wanted to really start up my own business and just help and inspire others. And, like I said, I was always revolved around fitness, and I just thought it'd be a great opportunity to, start my business. And, once COVID did start to hit, definitely, for me personally, I was actually able to, really focus more on my business. So it was something that actually benefited me into, really just building up a solid foundation.
Can I ask, how many do you call your people clients?
Yes.
Is that your words? Okay. How many clients do you have?
Yeah. So right now, I have 10.
10?
Right now. Yeah.
Whoa, that's super awesome.
Yeah. It's great. I absolutely love it. We have a little community and it's great. I love it.
Okay. So if someone's your client, what do they get from you?
Yeah. So what they get is, there's a ton that they get, right? Like it's a full on package. Okay. So first thing that they get is a fully customized training program specifically suited for them. And it's cool because there's an app that I specifically use to set up their routine time. So they get that. They get 24/7 accountability from me. They get fully customized meal plans from me.
Can we stop 1 second? What's accountability look like? What do you do for accountability? I had a doctor tell me he was going to be my accountability partner, and I didn't go back to him because I was like, I don't need that from you. So what do you do for that?
Good question. So usually, like, I'm in touch with my clients every day. Like, I always just message them or, try and send them a funny picture or some type of motivation to, try and get their day going. And, I'm just always there for them. And every week we do weekly check-in. So I send them a weekly check-in form that they need to fill out at a specific time. Otherwise, they won't get a check-in from me. So they need to specifically fill out a check-in form at a certain time. And then once they fill that form out, then I pull up all their progress, see how they're doing, pull their check-in form, and just send them a Loom video of everything.
Excellent. So you have contact with 10 people on a daily basis. Whew. Yeah. Giving me a little bit of panic attack here. No, but that's pretty awesome. So how often do you, I guess how much time per client do you spend a day?
So I also have a Facebook group that I'm trying to put more emphasis on. Like, I'm trying to incorporate a more suitable routine that is going to benefit, them, right? So I think right now on Monday, I try and do a weekly challenge, and Tuesday I do just a live video, like mindset or, something that someone may be struggling with. I'll try and break that down. And then Thursday, I'll do another live video of, something that I think is going to benefit them or, may hit home with them, something to, really just, motivate them, right? Like, I want them to, feel like they're in a home where, they're being supported and, throughout their journey.
To me, I don't know why, but when you said that you want them to feel like you're in a home, my mind kind of went to your mom and probably like, I don't know. I just kind of connected them somehow. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely goes back to, it definitely goes back to, impacting them and just inspiring them, right? It's more than, just a training program and meal plan, because to me, like, you can go out on the internet right now and find a training program and a nutrition plan, but, you're not going to have that accountability, right? You're not going to have someone there for you specifically when you're struggling. You're not going to have someone there to push you and to just motivate you every single step of the way and just give you feedback on how you're doing.
Right. So how, again, with you being so young and just with your year and a half that you've been dealing with grief, do you know how you got to this point and with just your knowledge and you're wanting to help people? Some people, they're barely functioning at this point, and they're just barely starting to even think about themselves, let alone others. So if you know how you got here, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, so I'd definitely say, first things first, a lot of hard work and discipline. Like, if you believe in something and you know that you can do it, like anything is possible. Like, I don't care what it is, if your friends make fun of you, your family, but it's got to come from inside of you. Like, you got to believe. And I think that has gotten me to where I am now. And then second thing, hiring a coach, like hiring someone who knows their stuff and can help you, build a brand and help you specifically put together a routine or a business for that matter, like just really help you build up your business as a whole, right? So I definitely have a coach that's helping me do that, build up my business, and I absolutely love it. I'm learning new things every single day on, just how I can be a better coach, certain ways that I can maybe better my services, and just having that entrepreneurial, I can never say that word, entrepreneurial, geez, that mindset, right? Yeah, your coach is going to be there for you, but at the end of the day, it comes down to you putting in the work. Like, everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day. And how are you going to manage those 24 hours? Like, how are you going to be better than the person that may be offering the same business as you? Like, there's so many different variables that goes into it.
Yep. And I do see some of the things that you post. You show a lot of your meals that you eat and your workout videos that you do. So that's just a little touch, right, of what you do. And then your clients get some more specific care and more specific videos.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my clients, get more advanced stuff, like everything that, they need in order to be successful. I'm just focusing right now to, just give as much free value as I can, because I know, it's not about just getting a client into my program. I know for a fact if I give away some free value and that person comes back to me like 3 months later and says, hey man, I've been following all the stuff, all the free advice, et cetera, that you've been putting out on your social media, and it's just changed my life. Like that's great to me. That's amazing. That's what I want. Like that to me is heart touching. And, just knowing that I'm still inspiring and impacting, those lives that aren't even my clients.
And I see you have an Instagram, and you seem to have like kind of a lot of people that pay attention to you there. Is that right?
Yeah, I try. I mean, I definitely still need to, keep on building up my Instagram platform. But, it just really comes down to just giving giving as much value as I can. That's really what it comes down to.
And I see that you said that you offer, I believe the wording was busy professionals. Was that the word?
Yeah. So
what happens if you're just a couch potato? Can you still participate?
So right now I am focusing on, specifically helping busy professionals, but, I'm always open to help other individuals, right? So that's really who I have been targeting, is busy professionals. So.
Okay, good. I just wanted to see who your target audience was there for sure. And so I don't know. We haven't ever talked about this before, but maybe you might think about it. And I don't even know that anybody would do this. But you mentioned you have some openings, right, for coaching?
Yeah, great question. So I have actually just opened up a few more spots for coaching for this month to get back into shape for the holidays. So if you are ready to, make a change for the best, just feel free to message me personally at Von Ryan Fitness on Instagram, or you can also reach out to me on Facebook as well. And we can see if we can come up with a game plan to help you hit your goals.
Is there anything anything that you would consider a coping mechanism, or anything that you've used to get you? And I'm sure it's in what we've already talked about, but if you're in a bad spot, what do you do to get you out?
Yeah, so I think, what has really helped me a lot is meditation.
I love to hear people talk about meditation. Sorry, I haven't tried meditation, but I totally want to. So I love to hear all the different takes. Okay, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I'm on a strict morning routine where I don't check my social media for the first hour in the morning, because there's so many people that the first thing they'll do when they wake up is check their phone, start scrolling through social media, and then before they know it, 30 minutes has gone by and they saw something on social media that has just affected their mindset, and that's how their day is going to go. I'm a big, firm believer in meditation and just getting that mindset right for that day. And I also do gratitude. I sit down and for 5 minutes, I'll just write out certain things that I'm grateful for each and every single day. And really just thinking about those specific things, those things that you have in your life, that can really hit home, right? Whether it be your house, your family, whatever it may be, just sitting down and writing out those things that you're grateful for each and every single day. Because there's so many things that we take for granted in life, and we really always just focus on negative things day in and day out, right? We never focus on some of the good things that happened in that day, or some of the good things that we have in our life. You always hear people talking about negative things, which is gonna affect those people that you talk to as well, right? If you're being negative, that's just going to affect other people, and nobody wants to be around that. So I think gratitude has really helped me. There still are quite a few times where I will find myself breaking down, because of my mom. And, I just reminisce on the good times that we had together, and, how fortunate I was. Like I said, I'm fortunate enough to have known her for 22 years. And, I just think that there's other people out there that they never even had a chance to meet their mom. And, just sitting down and realizing that, being grateful for that, I think that's really, really helped me a ton.
Right. Yeah. So other people also mention gratitude, and it really is kind of what you focus on. That's what you're going to get out of life and of your day. And again, that's something I haven't started yet, but I'm totally going to. How many how much
Yeah, it's
time do
game
you
changing.
spend? Yeah, with your meditation, how much time do you spend there?
Yeah, so I spend 10 minutes. There is a specific video on YouTube. I can't remember what it's called, but it's only about 10 minutes long, and it's great. Especially like being in Arizona too. Like I can go outside and just sit outside and watch that. Well, even though I do get up at 5 in the morning, so I was gonna say watch the sunrise come up, but it's still pitch dark out. But I'm still able to, sit outside and just enjoy that weather, and really just smell the fresh air, and just realize some of the things that I am grateful for, and really just it just starts my day off right, and I can focus on my business and making my dreams a reality.
That's awesome. I have a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like anyway, so sometimes I let that overweigh me, I guess. So I'm totally going to start something with meditation and definitely the gratitude stuff, but maybe every once in a while I might pop into your chat and just kind of see. I might grab some motivation from you if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Feel free to do so. And this is something that I try and incorporate into, or I kind of try and drill into my clients is, meditation and gratitude, because, like I said, there's so much that you can benefit from it. And if you can focus on your mindset the first thing in the morning without anything else, social media, it's going to be a serious game changer. You're going to realize how much better you feel in the mornings, how much better your workouts are, how much better your days go at work, how much better you spend time with your family. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a real game changer, and it helps a ton.
Excellent. That'll be good. Do you feel like there's anything that we haven't brought up that you would like to cover?
Yeah, so one thing that I could say to my mom right now, this is something
Yes,
that I
please.
really wanted to say. There's definitely so many things that run through my mind, but if I had to choose out of all things that I could say to her, I would just say, like, I'm so dang proud that I had the opportunity to have known her for 22 years of my life. And like I said, there's other people that have never had the opportunity to have met their mother. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful for everything that she has done for me. I love you, Ma. I miss you, and I'm gonna continue to make you proud in all aspects of my life, whether that be in my business or wherever. I'm going to continue to make you proud and hit my goals. My goals are on my wall, and I know that you're up there cheering me on to achieve these goals, and I'm going to do everything in my power to crush those goals for you, Ma. So thank you for everything.
Beautiful. And I feel like she definitely raised a good kid. That
Absolutely.
I don't know. So when I I have my small kids, and I'm just like, oh well, I don't want to mess them up, and at least they can grow up to be like good people, then we'll be okay. So everything I see from you so
Absolutely.
far, I feel like she did that job for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, can you tell us one more time how we could reach you, where we can find you, and what your business is called?
Absolutely. So I just want to thank everyone for, coming. Like I said, I just wanted to say I opened up a few coaching spots. So, if you're ready to make a change for the best, feel free you can message me at avonrein, that's AVONREIN fitness on Instagram, or you can just message me personally on Facebook as well.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. It's been a pleasure. And
thank you so much for having me, Steph. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to continue to watch your stories and everything. And definitely I have the opportunity to get up at 5:00 every day, and I definitely should take it and start being a little more purposeful, I think, with my day and beginning that. So
let's go.
Definitely going to try to implement that. So, hey, it's been great having you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you reaching out, and it was an honor to be on here, my first podcast ever. So
I love it when I get them first. You're going to probably go on to be on other ones, but Parentless Podcast had you first.
That's a plan.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. You take care, all right?
All right. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Empty faces covered in cars, spreading fake skin, passing me by.
Parentless is recorded in Phoenix, Arizona. Find us on social media and any podcast platform. Music provided by Colin the Coco and the Revolving Birds. Studio provided by Fat Kid Productions. Check out one of the many shows available on our network. I'm your host, Stephanie Relaford. Thank you for listening to Parentless.